comes to, like,
Yeah, you can always crawl your way up and try and throw a grenade.
oh god,
but,
you could always do that
you're
even.
gonna see some squad losses.
Yeah. But I think like right now it's not absolutely desperate. I mean, Shaman or not Shaman, Pepsi has quite a good amount of resources right now since he's got the left hand side pretty much to him. Um, Shaman's just pretty much well, I mean, if he's not focusing on left hand side, he's pretty much fighting for the resources that he has on the right hand side. So he's fighting for what he has right now, basically. When it comes
Right.
to
And
ammunition, but if you notice, Shaman really did not use that much when it comes to upgrading. So he doesn't have those MP40s on his Volksgrenadiers, and that's why we saw that Goliath come out. That's why we saw maybe one mine, and also that medic bunker. So if you've got that extra ammunition, then why not? Especially in the beginning, a Goliath could be so devastating at taking out some of those riflemen.
yeah, and he did OP the munitions point, the high munitions point nearest to his base. So that's gonna help him overall with income throughout the whole match.
Definitely will. And so we see a howitzer shoot. I always find this kind of silly how they, I'm not sure if this is a mistype or something, but on the infantry doctrine, when you look at the howitzer shot ability, it's called howitzer shoot. So kind of strange. But apparently a howitzer shoot came down there, and that means that infantry doctrine has been selected by the American player. So totally valid strategy, very good against the infantry. There could also be possibly a howitzer artillery cannon built later on. Never know. Maybe Rangers would be good for any tanks in the future. And that's just all to look forward to from the infantry doctrine.
We're also just about to see the first Grenadier squad reformed out of all of the Volksgrenadiers and the MGs over here on the east side. And we have a Kampfkraft Center up for getting some veterancy out.
So slowly we basically have this game turning a bit into Left 4 Dead. We just have our first few zombie squads coming out from the medic bunker.
Brains. Brains.
Nazi zombies.
Incidentally, the other thing that's happening is Shaman is actually upgrading to the assault phase. That's tier 4. Battle phase. Sorry.
Has he gotten any other buildings like T3 or T2? Well, he actually must have gone T2.
He did pick up a he did pick up a Kriegsbarracks because he does have the packs out on the field.
That's right.
He's upgrading Vet 1 for his infantry, but he is going straight to tier 4.
So that is quite a jump, quite a leapfrog. But fair enough, we'll see what happens out of that. We've got our first Sherman from PepsiTrustReloaded. Totally going to be countered by this pack right now, and we've also got a few Panzerschrecks on the Grenadiers. So Sherman, you got to be careful. I mean, your front armor is obviously gonna take less damage, but still, anti-tank is not good.
And that is Gren Squad number 2.
Now, see, guys, I mean, when we're talking about heavy infantry strategies, I mean, if you're gonna have, I don't know, maybe even 2, 3 squads out on the field, medic bunkers are such a good investment. I mean, if you're getting these free squads, Grenadiers for example, 300 manpower each, that's 600 manpower you've saved so far. It's totally worth the investment, especially in the long run. Now we have a little howitzer shoot trying to take out the bunker, but funnily enough the bunker is pretty much, it looks like a nuclear bunker. I mean, it's hardly taking any damage from the howitzer shoot, just down to half health right now.
Well, and one of the things is I don't know that I would have spent the munitions on that bunker. Obviously, it's important. One of the goals that you see Pepsi trying to hit at right now is I need to get that med bunker down. He's seen 2 Grenadier squads out of it, and he's halfway to a third. But 150 munitions for that bunker when you know your opponent's defensive is going to be a little touchy, because you're not guaranteed a kill on that bunker by any means.
Yeah, definitely not. As you guys saw, I mean, the howitzer shoot only took down the medic bunker, half health, so might not necessarily be worth it, especially since they could easily repair it. So if you're ever going to try to take out a bunker, I mean, in games like this where you're versing a defensive player, what your prime target is that bunker. At least your first prime target anyway. So if you're ever going to try and take that out, you got to make sure you have a force behind you. I mean, if you put down that howitzer chute, make sure that you at least got some sort of guys that can take it out afterwards after being damaged. Otherwise, that's 150
Yeah.
manpower or munitions down the drain, right?
Yeah, and otherwise you're actually better off saving that munitions and using it on the forces that have you held back from getting the rest of your units to that bunker. So, you know, if you could take out an MG or an MG and some infantry with it, and then use that to flank flamers around to that bunker, you're going to be a lot better off than just dropping the artillery on the bunker.
Exactly, because I mean, if the guys, you know, the Volksgrenadiers can easily run away, but the medic bunker's still going to be there, and all you do is pretty much just leave a few craters. So kind of unfortunate with that whole thing. And as you guys can see, a few pioneers repairing it back to full health. So, you know, 150 ammunition, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I'd probably lean more to don't do it unless it's down to a slither of health. So now we just have two Volksgrenadiers trying to take on this sort of flanking rifleman squad. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to do. Maybe they're trying to just see what's happening with this MG. Is it still there? And yes, it is. Obviously taking a few shots on the guys in the building.
And it's actually really good positioning from that regard. You know, the MG can shoot the house, but the house can't shoot back at the MG. It does outrange it slightly, and that makes a big difference.
If you guys actually saw what happened there, the rifleman tried throwing a grenade on these blobbed Volksgrenadiers, but funnily enough, it got caught on the building, the garage shed, and destroyed it. So also another thing.
Those shacks will go down for anybody.
Yeah. So whenever you throw grenades, it's not 100% accurate. I mean, there's a high chance that you always miss and it'll get caught on something else. So, you know, you always need that sort of clear view. But right now, that MG, that formidable little thing is finally taken out by brute force. It looks like howitzer chute took it out. So well done to the riflemen or the PepsiTrustReloaded for actually managing to do that. So Shaman is basically totally cut off.
Are you sure that was the munitions ability? Because I didn't see any smoke there.
Say that again?
I said, are you sure that was the howitzer chute? Because I didn't see any smoke.
Well, funnily enough, if you look at I think it was. I mean, I'm just looking at the craters that are right there right now because I was focusing on the riflemen and I was like, okay, well that was taken out. Maybe it was the howitzer chute that took it out just because of the craters. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I was trying to be nice and give you an opportunity to point out the fact that there's a howitzer in the American base.
Oh.
Slacker.
Hey man, I mean, as long as we're cooperating on you know, everything that's going on. So as you guys can see,
Absolutely.
Pointed out by Ryan, there is a 105mm howitzer in the American base. So now this howitzer chute becomes almost obsolete in a way, unless it's absolutely needed. The howitzer is going to do an absolutely fine job, as you guys can see, taking out that MG. Now taking a few little hot shots on these Volksgrenadiers. These guys are going to have a bit of a bad day, losing a few brothers in this little artillery barrage. But I like what Pepsi is actually doing. He's totally cut off the axes right now, and just to make sure that he's delaying them from recapturing this manpower point, he's just putting down that little artillery shot. So pretty cool.
No, and that's you know, it's an interesting point because the Panzer Command has come up in the Wehrmacht base, and there's a Panzer IV waiting to come out, but he doesn't have the pop cap for it.
And see, that's one of the unfortunate things. Just the left-hand side is totally untouched. I mean, even just capping away at these little points in the south side would be enough to get you some pop cap. But now this point is reconnected. This manpower point is reconnected. There's obviously going to be more pop cap. But right now, I would say Shaman is sort of losing ground. I mean, he was sort of up to the VP in the beginning, and he's pretty much losing this sort of covering support with his MGs. In fact, another MG being taken out there. A pack very much so in desperate need of help. Unfortunately, it looks like Shaman is going to keep his guys a bit back and make sure they replenish first before engaging the riflemen. But the riflemen, Vet 2.
Yeah, we also have We also have Grenadier Squad number 4 coming out of that bunker. So it has well above paid off its cost just with the east side conflicts over here.
Definitely has. So we have that Sherman on the field, Vet 1, and we have the 1st Panzer IV on the field. So the Panzer obviously just trying to wreak havoc on these riflemen, trying to push them away, pack taken back in control of the axes, just to make sure that this Sherman has a bit of a hard time.
Yeah, and it's kind of an interesting move with the Panzer IV there. I mean, rolling up on a Vet 2 rifle squad like that is incredibly risky because, you know, at this point, you don't know if he has stickies or not. And if he does, you're going to delay that Panzer IV from being able to engage those Shermans by quite a while.
Definitely will, and it doesn't look like Shaman has that many Pioneers either. If I looked around, he's only got 1 Pioneer squad on the left-hand side, just capping away at some points. So he doesn't really even have much in terms of repair capabilities for his tanks. So yeah, if he got a sticky down, damage the engine, that would look quite bad for the Panzer.
No, and you'd have a long way for those Pioneers to go, and that is Grenadier Squad number 5.
Are you serious? 5 squads. So as you guys can see, 300 times 5. Can you guys do the math? That's 1,500 manpower. That is a lot of manpower that you would have saved by that small investment early in the game.
Oh, but here's the shoot.
And where could it be coming down? Where could it be coming down? Right on top of the Grenadiers.
Right on the bunker.
On the bunker. Did it actually take out a whole squad there?
No, it actually missed. I think it clipped a couple of the medics, and it blew up a couple of other things that I couldn't really tell. It might have gotten a couple of Volks Grenadiers.
Might have done that. Taking out a few guys there. Also just badly damaging the bunker. Not taking it out, though. What could be very nice right now, and I wish Pepsi Trust would do this. And funnily enough, I believe he's just about to. I spoke too fast. I was hoping that he would throw an artillery barrage right in the bunker, and yes, he is doing that. Doing as I thought he would. Well done to you, Pepsi.
And if he can actually... There it goes.
Just about to go down.
If he can actually score a hit, the bunker would go down.
There we go. It's down. Nice. So that is prime target number 1 down, but still, if we're talking about that investment, that saving of manpower, if you guys just look, I mean, look at all these Grenadiers that are just blobbed up together. 4 squads of them. Veterancy 1 right now. This is quite a formidable force, even though that old upgrade of Panzer Shreks, I mean, that's still a lot of anti-infantry capability since there's 16 guys right there. Now this Panzer IV is just backing off right now, just from the riflemen. On you go, Ryan, just say what you need to.
I would like to see Vet 2 and getting that elite armor out, especially with the prevalence of the rifle squads out on the field at this point. You know, you're not worried about a ton of flame.
I'm just gonna say, what are these Grenadiers trying to do? I mean, you're supposed to be the the mind of Shaman. Why do you think he was trying to do that?
I don't know if it was a desperate attack on the howitzer just to try and take it out, you know, because you can still kind of crawl your way up through the initial suppression and get those Shrek squad shots off, but with those 2 Shermans sitting there, I don't know that he expected them, but being as they weren't engaged with his Panzer IVs, I don't know why you wouldn't. It was a mistake.
Must have been a mistake. Like, it must have been some sort of, I don't know, base rush. But obviously it didn't go well, as you guys saw, losing quite a few Grenadiers there. He could totally use the Grenadiers on the field right now to try and take out these Shermans. If they supported these Panzer IVs right now, it would help a lot. Unfortunately, they're not there at the moment. Now, what I think Panzer...
Yeah, and this is...
On you go.
This is one of those cases where, you know, he walked that Panzer IV near those rifles and had no idea whether they had stickies. For the most part, you should almost always assume that rifles have stickies.
Well, I mean, he's going to have to learn the hard way, as you guys can see. I mean, his engine is pretty much destroyed. He's moving at slower than a slug's pace. Immobilized now, in fact, and having a very bad day.
Now, Krebs, at 27 minutes, I think we ought to sync up a little bit.
I think so, because I have a feeling you're a bit forward in front of me. I'm at 27.
I'm just a hair. I am as well.